What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Let me see what's going on with Instagram. There we go. Instagram is a little slow, but we tapped in. We tapped in. We tapped in. All right. All right. Make sure I can hear it. Always good to double check. I have learned not to be cocky. I did like I was on there for like 20 minutes one day with no sound. It was all bad. So I like to double check. You don't want to be too cocky. What's up? What's up? Oh yeah, we live. So we live. What's up? What's up? DJ Finesse. What's crack lacking? What's good? So y'all tapped in. I'm tapped in. Like we got a few people tapped in, y'all. If you are not following me on YouTube, check out my YouTube page. I'm gonna leave a comment here. It's chosen one jackpot. Follow me on YouTube. A lot of these lives they get taken down from the social media pages, but everything is on my YouTube channel. Let's build up this YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff on YouTube. So I took a look at the Drake. It's not a lawsuit. I've seen people reporting it as a lawsuit, and it's definitely not a lawsuit. Drake did not file a lawsuit against Kendrick Lamar at all. But the lawsuit was not a real lawsuit. Basically, it's a legal action. So what Drake is alleging is that the company, Universal Music Group, they agreed to charge Spotify 30% less than they normally do to license Not Like Us. So what this did was it encouraged Spotify to pump the song up. And Drake is alleging that even when people were searching for his music, Not Like Us was popping up, which added to the streams, which made the song a bigger song. So Drake is also saying that bots were used to inflate the Spotify and YouTube plays. If anybody follow me, I actually went live when this battle was going on. I'm love hip hop. I'm a hip hop artist myself, and I went live and I talked about how the numbers didn't seem real. As an artist myself, I have bought views before. As an artist, I have bought followers on the first thing that I got on was Twitter. And when I came home in 2011, I didn't know that the buying followers was like buying fake till I did it, and I was like, oh man, these people got like these little weird, you know, names and weird everything, and I was like, oh, it's just bots. And I literally had to go through and delete. If you go look on my Twitter now, it's like 3,500 followers or something, but at the time it was like 10,000. I had to go through and like delete a bunch of those fake followers because it mess up your algorithms for real. So um if you are an artist or you are a DJ or whatever, you know how this go. Same thing with the pay to play, and that's another thing that Drake is alleging is that the label, not Kendrick, he's not filing action against Kendrick. It's a action against Universal Music Group, and it's saying that Spotify did some BS, YouTube did some BS, Apple did some BS, and it looked like a sore loser type of thing. And obviously, he didn't win that battle. I was rooting for Drake. I'm not the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan, but this is not that. This is literally saying that the label did a bunch of sideways crooked stuff and they helped this song blow up the way that it did. And I don't think that Drake is wrong. So in his legal actions, he is asking to depose a lot of the people that are. Some people are still with the label, and some people have already been let go from the label. If you are not familiar, it was a big shakeup in September, October, where a lot of the label heads and different people were shifted and fired and moved around. And Drake wants the right to talk to these people. So Drake is saying that they for them paying a song to get the radio is basically um they dogging them, like, and they with the information that's in the song and them calling them a pedophile and different things like that. Drake is alleging that these people knew that this wasn't the truth and that they still promoted this song. Now um if he wins this lawsuit, it opens up the door for a lot of other stuff. So a lot of people are like, oh man, I seen like Rhapsody, different people like that. They like, look, man, when we lost battles in the 90s and early 2000s, we didn't file lawsuits and all of that. But this is his way of getting back. So recently we seen young Dirk, Lil Dirk, whatever they want to call him. We seen Lil Dirk go through legal troubles or start his legal troubles based on some information that a guy that he was with was wearing a wire, different things like that. And it was basically like, did he get back? Did this and that. So what we have to realize is that business is business. So will we have rather Drake win in the office and stab somebody like they said Jay-Z did to Unrivera or whatever? Like, so at this point, is legal actions are better than street actions, right? And I'm not taking Drake to be much of a street guy anyway, but I'm just saying in general, um, this is his recourse. This is the way that he responds to what they did. And a lot of people didn't even realize it, but Drake is also on this record label. So Drake feels like you guys are trying to dim my character. You guys are trying to make me less of a star for renegotiations or for whatever you need to pay me, whatever it did to my contract. So this is his way of being able to get the information he needs to actually file a lawsuit, right? And he's also stating that the label plays such a big part in that it was unfair to him and his music career because they paid social media influencers to promote the song, and they did all kind of stuff to thwart his music career, which cost him money, cost him a lot of fame. So um it's crazy, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, y'all. So if y'all not familiar with the way the music business work, this is it could be like kind of confusing, but I literally said this. I said this. When I seen this, I said, "Is no way that Kendrick dropped the song and it was 2, 3 million plays so quick." It was so quick. It was like 3 million plays so quick. And I was like, look, it don't work like that. And if it does, then it continues to grow. It's like crazy. And I looked on Drake release and it was like maybe 200,000 views after about 30 minutes or whatever. It was like crazy. I'm like, okay, why does Kendrick have 2 million views? Like, is Kendrick is not as big of an artist as Drake, and his page is not as big as Drake and everything. And it was like, this doesn't make sense. And when I said it, people like, "Oh man, you just hating on Kendrick or whatever," and they try to make everything out to be picking a side. But I was looking at this number and I was saying this doesn't make sense. So to give it some context, and a lot of people are equating this to the 90s and early 2000s when a lot of the labels were being accused of buying records to inflate record sales so they can get more publicity for the albums and different things like that. Or it would be no different than Benzino giving himself 5 mics and a source, which would make you want to go and check out the album, and it was only like 10 albums with 5 mics, and you're like, hey, why does this album have 5 mics? And you being able to buy certain things. So uh academics actually interviewed a guy named Epic, and Epic was saying that he received a payment from the record label to do fake views for Kendrick Lamar. And people were like, oh man, guys, just this. But I'm like, if you don't understand the music business, that's one thing. But a lot of us are in the music business, and a lot of us have dealt with the music business, and you understand that you pay for everything. And I didn't understand that at first. So I came home in 2011. I was doing all my music, doing my music. And I was reaching out to different people and different platforms. And I was like, look, I'm doing this music. I'm just coming home. I'm dope. I got all of these videos and all this music. And, I just want to get my music on. And they were like, yeah, that's cool, but we want this much. So I did a couple more albums. And when I got around to like my third album, Gifted and Talented, by then I had hustled up on a decent amount of street money. And I started to reach out with a different attitude. I would reach out, and I think the first people that I reached out to was Worldstar. And I was like, hey, I got this. And Worldstar had basically told me about 4 or 5 months before that, like, look, man, get your weight up. So when I reached back out to him, I'm like, how much do it cost to get my video on there? They sent me a whole breakdown. Like, look, this is 500, this is 750. I'm lying. It was 750 it was 750. And then that was a regular post, and then it was like 2,500 for the double post at the top, and then it was 5,000 for the big post at the top. And it was like, dang, like once I understood money opened the doors. It doesn't matter how talented you are, and it doesn't matter how passionate you are. It doesn't matter how good your music is. Now that can help once you get in the door, and or once people actually take the time to listen to it. And sometimes you get a little luck with the algorithms, but in building a music career, you start to realize that it doesn't matter as long as you're paying money. Like it literally doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. So a lot of people, and when you're not dealing with it, you don't understand it. But when I seen that the suit was filed, I realized like, okay, this is going to open the gates so people can see how this actually works, right? So when you seeing people in the music business and you're thinking, oh my God, he must be really talented to do XYZ. And they like, nah, bro, this, and it's coming out in these different podcasts and things too, right? So back to my own personal story. So I got to World Star, boom, I do it. Bam, I paid him the money. I get the video. The video was it was a booty shaking video. It's called We Winning. And We Winning like took off. And when they posted it with the little star blocking out one of the strippers behind. And that made people tap in even more. Like literally was just people tapping into this video. And I looked up and my goal was to get 20,000 views. I was like, look, if I can get 20,000 views, then the 800 is worth it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to buy fake views, but I just want to get these views. And if World Star is the platform at the time, this was 2012. And I'm like, man, World Star is the biggest hip hop platform in the world right now. And I didn't quite understand it. And I was like, I did it and it literally took off. I woke up in the morning the next day and they had posted it. And I think I had 20,000 views like the first hour. And I just watched it throughout the day and it went all the way up to like 280 views, 280,000 views. And I was like, dang, 280,000 views. I can hit half a million. And I did. I did about 475,000 or so in the next couple days. And it just pushed it through the algorithms. I looked up on YouTube and the YouTube video had about 50,000 views up there. And I'm like, dang, and the video was just like taking off because the algorithms, they work like that. And that made me realize that it's all about the money, right? So as this World Star video started taking off, I was gearing up for the release of my first album with like original beats. I mean, it was some samples, but it wasn't like a mixtape. And literally reached out to everybody. My guy Jovi hooked me up with a PR guy. He got me some interviews. So it was crazy, bro. But I met another PR guy out on the West Coast. He hooked me up with some more interviews. And some of those were still like, hey man, we need 500 to post it. Like some of the big ones. Then we had post in the source and post on double XL.com and different things like that. And you start to realize that everything has to be paid for. Everything has to be paid for. I met with a label exec in 2016 and he just broke everything down to me, and not to, because me and him still cool, but not to go into too much details. What's up, James? I think I'm up against the wind. Most definitely. This was one of the producers on Gifted and Talented, but I literally I got this album and I just started putting money behind it and people started seeing me everywhere. I was in the double XL, the what was the other one? Man, it was every little magazine, but it cost. I was in Don Diva. That's right. I was in Don Diva. There's somebody commenting on there. I'm telling you from just knowing the Don Diva cost me about 2 grand. That was between getting the page done. If you look on my page and look at other people's pages, you'll see I was spending money. Like some of the pages was like, all right, but I went and had somebody design the page for me. Like everything was about money. And I wasn't knocking it. It was something that I learned while doing music, that a lot of it is about money. You know what I'm saying? So when this came out yesterday and I seen people like, oh man, he mad because he lost the battle. He may be. He may be. But what people have to realize is Drake actually understands what's going on because Drake has paid. He has paid and has done things, or his labels have done that, and he understands that. So outside of my own experience, I want to talk about why Drake would know. So if you are not familiar with Cash Money, Young Money, they have been accused of doing this. They have been accused of buying their own albums, different things like that. So Drake would know. And I'm not saying that they did it or they didn't do it, allegedly did it, but you could look at something as easily watched as Lil Wayne's Carter 3 album. If I'm not mistaken, that Lil Wayne album was the album they said had 3 million a million albums sold in a week, right? Let me double check it, right? And I want to give y'all context right quick, right? And this particular album sold quote unquote a million albums in a week, right? So I'm looking at the sales for it, right? It says the Carter 3 sold over a million albums in its first week. Let's see what the Carter 3 is at now, right? Let's see how many albums Lil Wayne Carter 3 album sales. Let's see what it's at right now, right? So right now, the album is at about 4 million copies sold. 3,972,715 copies sold, right? So let's look at an album that sold a million in its first week that we know. Marshall Mathers LP, right? Right. So when you look up the Marshall Mathers LP, which also sold a million copies in a week, right? Um, it has 25 million copies sold worldwide, and it's certified 11 times platinum and diamond, right? Same thing with let's say Get Rich or Die Trying, right? So it didn't quite sell a million albums in the first week, right? It sold 872,000 copies the first week. It has sold 12 million copies worldwide. Um, what other rap album has sold a million copies in the first week? It doesn't even matter if it's a rap album, right? Let's say NSYNC sold a million copies in the first week, right? Around that same time, the Carter 3 dropped, right? Let's see what else sold a million copies in the first week. This is simple. You can look it up. NSYNC, no strings attached, right? Let's see how much that sold altogether, right? Is this simple? Whoop, NSYNC, no strings attached. It sold over 14 million copies worldwide. So I'm only doing this quick background to show y'all, right? Right. Backstreet Boys, it's all on there. That's what popped up. Backstreet Boys sold a million copies in the first week. NSYNC sold a million copies in the first week. It's a whole list. Britney Spears, Oops, I Done It Again in 2000. Only 24 albums have sold at least a million copies in the first week. If you look at those albums and how much they went on to sell, you will see that the Lil Wayne album it pales in comparison. It's probably less than 50% of any other album that sold a million copies in the first. It's less than 50%. Some of them is less than 25%. Its total sales to date is less than 25%, right? Is less than 25% of other albums that did the same thing around the same time, right? So this is what I'm trying to get people to understand, right? And I'm a Lil Wayne fan. And as I stated earlier, I like Drake more than Kendrick. I'm not dogging anybody from Young Money. What I'm trying to explain is that Drake would have knowledge of this because Drake has seen this done. You're not talking to somebody who is not around the industry, who is new to the industry, who has not been in the industry. And this is not someone who's wasting money to go file a frivolous lawsuit. It's not a lawsuit yet. Right now, he's just filing legal actions to build up to this lawsuit. This is not someone who is just throwing spitballs in the dark, right? This is someone who has actually seen people do things like this, and he understands how this works. He has probably benefited from this more than he would want to admit. But in this particular case, he feels like he has legal action against this record label, which is also his record label. Drake is basically suing his own record label. This has nothing to do with him suing Kendrick or him doing whatever. So what it is payola, which we all knew happened. I have also paid for radio plays. Like I'm just being 1,000. It's all kind of stuff going on, right? It's all kind of stuff going on. And people were like, oh man, well, no, bro, you start seeing more of me because my bag got bigger. I was able to pay more people, right? I have, even when you start to look at some of the big names in podcasting right now. And I watch JT, Pocket Watching with JT, and he talk a lot about the podcast payola. And the podcast payola is real too. The podcast payola is real. A lot of people don't know I did a whole interview with Vlad in 2012. As I stated before, once I seen what happened with World Star, I reached out to all kinds of people. And Vlad was one of the biggest names in hip hop at the time. And I reached out and did an interview with Vlad. I think he took it down from his channel now, but it's still up on my channel, right? So I did an interview with Vlad. And during my interview with Vlad, I just talked about everything that I had going on, and it was a dope interview. It was a dope interview, and I did the interview with um a video guy here in Detroit, and Vlad just did the interview over the phone, right? And I only feel like he took it down because it probably was messing up his algorithm. And I was like one of the first independent artists, definitely the first independent artist from Detroit to go do a Vlad interview. But the interview only had like 3,500 views or something. Like people like, who was dude? But I understood that it cost money. And the Vlad interview cost me almost 2 grand. It was like 1,900. Right at the time. He probably won 20,000 now, but it was like 1,900. So when people see things like this, they don't want to believe it because in their mind, talent wins out, crime wins out, different things like that, right? But that's not the truth. In reality, it's all about getting paid. People are getting paid. So you see the podcast people, they are getting paid. You think because they're on Earn Your Leisure, they know what they're talking about. You think that Earn Your Leisure did some type of background check, they did their due diligence, and they haven't. These podcast people are getting their money. That's all they care about. If you can pay them the $50,000 to come and do the interview, they're going to do it. So you're going to give these people money and you feel like they are the experts because they're here. Yeah, they may be. They may be the experts at looking the part and they're going to get their money. So when I seen that this lawsuit was filed, I did not feel like Drake took a coward way out. Oh, he's filing a lawsuit. He's a sore loser. Like, listen, man, this is the way to go. And this is where the money at. And why would he sue Kendrick when he can sue Universal Music Group? Right? Right now, it's just a legal action asking for permission to depose certain label heads, right? But this is what's done before he files a lawsuit. So he is gearing up to file his lawsuit. And he's not wrong. That's where the money is. Why wouldn't he file a lawsuit? And you would be crazy to think he's going to waste all of this money and all of this time and get this bad publicity for something that he does not have proof of, right? This is what he's doing. So a lot of people feel like, oh man, this hip hop. Nah, man, go get your money. Go get your money. Because if you do something outside of your contract, they're gonna sue you. They gonna sue you. I was just dealing with a suit earlier this year, like about 3 months ago. You know what I'm saying? People will sue you. They will sue you, and you could be the little dog, right? He's suing. It's definitely. It's not. I don't think it's a suit against Kendrick, right? The way I'm reading it is that the suit is not really suing Kendrick. The second suit today was definitely not about Kendrick. I'm double checking it. I don't want to be like I'm 100% sure. But basically, the suit is saying that they knew that certain things that Kendrick was saying was not true, and that they put the money behind it and they promoted it and they did all this stuff. So it's a defamation. It's not against Kendrick. It's iHeartMedia and UMG Recordings, right? It's nothing. It's not a suit. He's not aiming at Kendrick. He may down the line, but the last two things that he filed, one was a verified petition to rule 202. It's just for depositions. All he want to do is depose of um certain people within the label, and that's just to start building this case, right? That's just to start building the case. That this is not, it's not that, right? It's not that. It's not a Kendrick Lamar suit. It's UMG, right? It's UMG, and he's suing Universal Music Group, um, rightfully so. I mean, if he feel like he have proof of this, it's no reason not to do it. There's no reason not to do it. These are some big companies, UMG, Spotify. Why not go get your money? Apple. You know what I'm saying? If his money laying around, go get it. Right? If his money laying around, go get it. It's all good. I don't have a problem with it. We've seen rappers crash out. You know what I'm saying? We've seen rappers crash out and we look at them crazy, but this is his legal right if he feel like they pumped this song up and it interfered with him getting booked, if it interfered with his album sales, if it interfered with any other way that he made his money, he has a legal right to sue them, and nobody could be mad at that. Nobody could be mad at that. And this is not something that they just gonna give him they're not just about to give him this lawsuit. They're not gonna award him millions of dollars just because he said it happened. This will definitely be drawn out over the next year or two or three, and they're gonna give him the right to depose these people because why wouldn't they give him the right to depose these people unless he has no type of proof. If he has a little proof, they'll give him the right to depose of these people, right? Because it's your legal right to do so. So when you see all of these people trying to dog him and this and that, what y'all want to do? Crash out? Y'all want him to bust Kendrick head when he come to Canada? Like y'all tripping, right? Y'all tripping. This is his legal right to do it, and I don't see anything wrong with that. It's his legal right. And he would not understand this if he did not know exactly how this was done, because he's benefited from this. In some way, he's benefited from this. He's seen this done. And now he's like, I'm not letting y'all do this to me. What if he just wants the info and not the lawsuit? That's one of the questions, y'all. Let me show this. So if he just wants the info and not the lawsuit, right? I say go get the info. I say go get the info. It will help. It will help more than it will hurt, because it will help independent artists understand how this works too. It's a lot of artists that don't understand how this works. It's a lot of artists who think they can just sit in a studio for 6 months and just record and pray for the best. And that's just not how this works. It's not how it works. Right. Thank you, B Rock 56, for joining us on YouTube. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, my brother. So I'm saying, what's the worst that could happen? Right? And that's probably how the judge is gonna look at it. Like, look, if there's no validation to this, then let's see what happens. But if he has particular people that he wants to depose, then he knows what's going on, y'all. Right? He knows what's going on. If y'all have any questions, y'all tap in. I'm going to answer whatever questions, y'all. I am a artist also, and I am a paralegal. It don't mean I know all the law work, but I understand. I looked at the lawsuit before I jumped on here, y'all. I looked at the lawsuit. I didn't break down everything about the lawsuit, but I just looked at the lawsuit and I seen what he was actually suing about. And the lawsuit is about defamation of character and payola schemes. The lawsuit is not about Kendrick Lamar. It's not about losing the battle, winning the battle. The lawsuit is about the label um setting him up, basically. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is, y'all. So if y'all want to tap in or come on and join me, y'all can come on and join me. Y'all can send y'all a link. If y'all don't want to do that, I'm not gonna be on here all night. It's not one of those. What I'm going to do is go over the two lawsuits. So it's two lawsuits, y'all. It's two lawsuits. The first is saying that the label they did a bunch of BS. The second one, which was filed, is not a lawsuit. I'm sorry. Uh, it's a legal action. So the first legal action was all about them paying to pump this song up and these bots and all of this stuff and doing all of that. And the one that went public today, the legal action that went public today is them about his lawyers want to depose of the executives from Universal Music Group, right? And if it's public, right? These are public records. You can look this up. So I see people, oh, he's suing Kendrick, man. He a sore loser. And I don't feel like that. I feel like go get your money. Little duffel bag boy. Y'all remember the song. Go get your money. And this is the way to go get your money. You're it's pointless to sue Kendrick or anybody from his label. Go to the big dogs. Go get your money. Right? Go get your money. So Drake is going to get his money. This is not about him suing Kendrick. This ain't that. So um, y'all gotta look more into it, y'all. Stop believing the hype of the internet. Stop believing the BS, y'all. Just tap in, and it's simple. Like if you look it up, you can see the document, and you can like basically skim it over. And other people have actually posted it and went over it. But he is not suing Kendrick Lamar, so it's not that. Why would you sue Kendrick and you can sue the big dogs? It's just common sense. So I'd like to thank all of y'all for tapping in. I'm gonna break this down and have little snippets of it, like I do everything else, and repurpose this content. And if y'all not following me, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go subscribe, y'all. I'm trying to build this YouTube channel up. I need y'all to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm gonna try to go live probably every day, every other day. I just need to go live all the time, and I need y'all to go on there, subscribe, so y'all can get these notifications, and we can build this channel up, and I can start getting paid on YouTube. That's what this is all about. It's all about getting to the money, and that's all I want to do is get to the money. If there was a little bit of lag tonight, it shouldn't be tomorrow. I am having a technician come out and we're going to change this internet service so we can go live and I can turn up and do what I want to do. I can bring guests on how I want to bring guests. Um, Going into next week, I want to start bringing on my entrepreneurs. If you are an entrepreneur and you want to come on here, just jump on here. We're going to repurpose the content, do all of that. And I want to make sure that the entrepreneurs, um, y'all tap in because we're going to do like coaching sessions. Long as you're willing to do it live, um, we all for it, right? Long as y'all willing to do it live, we all for it. Entrepreneurs tap in. Just shoot me a DM, whatever. So what I want to do is a couple different segments with entrepreneurs. One segment is about you talking about your business, and we're going to try to help you get some people in your door or some people in your inbox to use your services, as long as your services ain't my services. So whatever your services are, we're going to go live and try to have some people come and get in your services. That's one of my segments. I don't have the names yet. I had the names before the end of the weekend, but it's two different segments. And that's the first segment is actually having entrepreneurs come on and talk about their business. And that segment will be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. And we will dig into what you have going on and who you are trying to help. And we'll try to get those people on so that you could and we'll get those people on so that you could do your thing, right? So this is a boom. Let me go ahead and make myself bigger. So basically, that will help you get business. Now, the other segment that I'm working on, the other segment will be all about you getting help with your business. And as long as you're willing to come on here and we talk about your business, I will do free coaching sessions, y'all. I'm not a play pimp. I'm not play pimping those real MBAs back there. Them real, that's a real MBA and that's a real paralegal certificate. and different things like that. I got a bunch of stuff, and I run my own business, and I don't just come on here and just do this podcast or this that I call it an info stream. I don't just do this info stream and do this because I want to be a social media person. Like, I'm actually running my business and doing my thing. Social media just a part of it. It's just a way to get people in the door. So I want you to understand that when you come on here for that particular segment, it may get personal, but it's all for growth. And that is, we'll do like a pre session meetup where I ask you a couple questions and you know give me the information about your business, and then we'll go into it on the live of what you need to do to actually help your business grow. A lot of times is not necessarily the business or the customers. This segment will be consistent with things like the hot seat with David Shands and different things like that. It's a lot of people probably won't be able to get on that, but you can get on here and you can get some real game. And I'm going to leave you with actionable steps to help you take your business to the next level, y'all. It's all about leveling up, and leveling up is a process. It's a process. It's not an overnight thing. It's not something that's just you're gonna snap and it's gonna change. So we want to go over what's going on, what your goals are, and how to get to those goals. So we're going to start doing that next week. If you are an entrepreneur and you're interested in coming on either of those segments, once again, the first segment is just talking about your business and helping you promote your business. And the second segment is about coaching. It's like a hot seat type of thing. I'm gonna be respectful. I'm not ever trying to be the disrespectful person. I know some coaches they get loud and belligerent. I'm not that person. I'm cooling. If you hear me loud, just get out of my way. Usually I'm cooling. So that's what we're gonna do. Once again, if you are an entrepreneur, you can tap in. We're gonna start doing two different segments next week. One segment is all about you, your business, and your story. And the other segment is about coaching and me helping you get to the next level. There's two different segments. They will not, you will obviously the difference will be obvious, right? The difference will be obvious. And when you reach out to me, I will be ensuring you that whichever one you choose, it won't turn into the other one. So if we come on here and you talking about your business, now I do want to see that you're actually doing business, and that your business is actually worth talking about. But other than that, when we do the hot seat type of thing, the coaching call, the live coaching call, I'm going to be respectful, but we're going to have to dive into some things because it's pointless for you to come on this coaching call and me BS with you. You will not leave with the information that you need to leave with if I am not real with you. So that's what we're going to do. If you feel like you're ready for that, please tap in. That information to be valuable to a lot more people, as a lot of us are going through the same thing. If you are interested in any of that, all you got to do is shoot me a DM and we can set it up. I'm starting next week, probably Monday or Tuesday, and I'm gonna make sure we start going into the next year. I want to start doing these regularly, and I'm gonna have people booked up for these. If you're interested in any of that, and I don't care what type of business you have, you could be a podcaster, a artist, whatever, a producer, whatever business you're in. You could be a barber, right? You could be a barber, a braider, whatever business you in. I want to interview you because there are other people in your line of work, and they can use the information that I'm gonna pull up out of you, right? So if that's something that interests you, once again, just DM me. We gonna get live starting next week. I already have people tapped in for that, but I want as many entrepreneurs as possible tapped into these two segments so we can build this platform. If you are not following me on YouTube, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. That's where you will always catch it at. The channel is Chosen One Jackpot. Just go look up Chosen One Jackpot. The number one's the same as my social media handle. Just check it out, y'all. And I'm going to look to see y'all real soon. Thank y'all for tapping in.